what coaching is and what coaches do.
Like as sort of like three legs of one stool when we are looking for a fitness trainer or a fitness coach. Better the girl or the guy be in shape, right? You need to be professional in understanding what is the proper behavior. When you start working with a client, they know based on the interaction with you as a coach, they know that, well, it's true. You are truly the person like that, and this is something that they want to have themselves.
How to sell this idea of tranquility to your clients? Like, why is it so important?
You need to strike a perfect balance of being unstoppable and being tranquil.
If you have this specific knowledge, why not share it? Yeah, like if you have some special things to tell your clients, why not?
If your client wins, you win with the client. And if not, your client knows that you always had her back.
Right, so to become this elite top coach, right, like you said, you need specific knowledge, which you can technically gain in your life, experiencing those business things if you're a business coach, right? Or let's say if you're a sports coach, you have like some sports career or some experience in that. Then the second one, you mentioned that you have to acquire some tools, which I guess also like learnable, right? If you attend one of the coaching programs where they can teach you these tools. So the last question I want to ask you today, how to become a product of your own product, the third leg of this chair.
Well, it depends on what you promise, right? Do you promise a tranquil and unstoppable mind? And if you do that, that's going to take you years and years of practice, because like there are three things to change. You need to change your cognition, you need to change the way you process emotions, and you need to change the way you behave as a result of that. Who will know that you changed your cognition if your behavior is the same, right? So the question is then, obviously your cognitive changes and your emotional changes, they'll have to manifest somehow, and they will always manifest in behavior. So the question then, well, how do you do that? How do you change your mind? How you truly change your mind? And your emotions will change 80% with your mind, and 20% you'll have to retrain your body for sure, because your body has a separate mind and it can store emotions and it can react in very primitive ways. So you have to retrain your body. But let's say that 80% is cognitive. Then the question is how exactly you do that. And for that to happen, I believe that, you need to know exactly the point A and the point B. Many people have like no clue about point A and point B. And point A is how you think now, and point B is how you need to think in order for the whole change to happen. So I would say 80%, they do not understand their A's and their B's. Then you have 15%, and 15% actually know the B part. They know where they want to land, where they want to go. And well, it's already something, right? You can work with it. So it's 15%, because otherwise, if you work with someone who is in the first category, they don't know what they want, and you are suddenly playing like a detective. You're trying to figure that out for them. And it's not very pleasant activity, I would say. So then you work with this 15%, and they know at least where they want to go, where they want to land. And then there is 5%, and 5%, and normally they work with very, very good coaches. They know where they are now, the point A, how they think now, how they behave now, how they feel now, and what they get as a result. And, they get their current life as a result. That's obvious. And once they understand the point A, they have the platform to jump from to point B. They need to let go the point A to arrive at point B, and you help them. So for these three categories, you work differently. For the first category, well, you help them define point B and point A. And very often when you define point B for them, they're like, okay, I'm done. Like, I don't want to continue. So then 15% for them, they know point B. So you try to get more specific with them, but also help them with point A. And it might take a year just to see the point A. And then 5%, and these are the most successful clients, you basically help them with transition from point A to point B. And for every category, you obviously use different tools.
Right. That's quite like efficient. And you mentioned that like about identifying A and Bs, like a lot of clients, when they see the B and make it like upscale it to like something wow, like, something massive to achieve. And they feel this excitement. But then when some time passes, they kind of resent, like they're kind of like, oh, what if I can't do it? So what does a coach do in this case? Like, keep people being on track with their goals.
So your question is about accountability, like how do you keep them accountable, or that's the question? Yeah.
And getting inspired by their goals, because sometimes there is this like, wow, I want to do it, and then they kind of want to stop the sessions, like, oh, I'm not sure I'm ready for that.
Okay, I have many thoughts in my mind right now. I actually want to go back, like a step back, and touch on your previous question a little bit more. Because when we explain that as point A and point B, it gets rather conceptual and a bit abstract, and people kind of understand the abstractual idea, but not too well. So I want to make it concrete. So let's say you, Alina, you want to become a well-known elite coach. You literally like want. So I guess you live in Vancouver, right? So let's say you want every second woman you meet when you go on the street to know you. Okay? So let's say this is the point B in terms of the result that you want to get. Now we need to understand what should be what type of person you are on cognitive and emotional level to get that type of result. And let's say that we fantasize a little bit and we say, well, the person who is so much well known is the person who thinks of herself is incredibly confident, incredibly skillful, and very driven, and driven by mission. So let's say we come up with these three ideas and we make the best hypothesis we have about the cognition. Okay. And then we say, well, like when you think like that, you will feel a certain way and you will feel driven, you'll feel motivated, and you feel like you are worthy, right? So then the second question, what you need to change exactly to get to that type of thinking? And that's the point A. And we need to go into your internal map, and this is into your map of thinking, into your internal map of the world, and understand how you think about yourself, about the world, and about people right now. Maybe you think that you're not skillful enough. Maybe you think that you're not worthy enough. Maybe you think that you are not mission driven. So we understand the point A's and point B's. So the next question is, well, how we start restructuring the cognition in the way so you're closer to your future. And we come up with different ideas how to do that. And this is how kind of like we do that. And if it takes 6 months, it takes 6 months. If it takes 12 months, it will take 12 months. And as long as we are doing that, we'll be there. Okay, so that's going back to the question. Now, your question was about accountability and how you keep people motivated. And the way you do that is by, and I call it seduction and being seduced. So for me, to know that you'll be happy if you get to the point B, I need to have some sort of experience of the point B. I need to believe that, well, that will make you incredibly happy, incredibly satisfied with your life. It will make your life worth living. So the question here that I get very often is like, who are you to decide for the client about the life that is worth living and about the happiness? And look, I'm not telling my client where to go, but when they decide where to go, I want to make sure that I have an experience of that. And talking from that experience, I can be very seductive and I can motivate you with words and behaviors. I can show you, well, this is exactly what you need. Look. And I love Gerard, who created the theory of memetics. And the idea of memetics is that we are driven by what others have and what we want to have for ourselves. So if you look at someone who is similar to yourself and you look sheer joy on their faces when they do a certain thing, it is almost guaranteed that you're going to try it. So you use this idea of memetics to seduce your clients into better well-being. And to motivate your clients, you need to stay motivated, but what they want yourself.
That's amazing about what you mentioned, seduce and this seduction process. Yeah, like it's kind of like keep you there. It's kind of great when you show what's possible. Yeah, like even if you don't show where to go, like you show what's possible for you. And sometimes for people from their point A, they don't even see what's possible in point B, and it's quite mind changing. Yeah, like when you see that. All right. I'm sure a lot of people who will be watching us, those people are looking for transformation, and some people are looking for starting a new career as a coach. And the last question I want to ask you today, what advice would you give to someone who wants to become this top elite coach? What to start with? Like, what would be the first step in this career?
Although we share our specific knowledge, we're not so big on giving people advice, right? We say, take your advice and apply it to your life. So I'll share my path, and if someone likes, they can follow. When I started my journey, I was looking for the perfect role model. I was looking for a coach who had exactly the things that I wanted to have myself. And I was looking for alignment in values, in character somewhat, and in achievements. And for me, it was fairly easy because my mom is a coach and very, very successful one. So she mostly had everything I wanted for myself, and I just could follow her example. But then at some point, as in my field, I achieved everything that I wanted, I had to go and find another role model. And this is very similar to the mindset of a professional athlete. You win on provincial level, and suddenly you look who is the big guy on national level, and then you win at the national level, and suddenly you look who's the big guy in your part of the world, and then you win there, and then you go to the whole world. So as long as you can find your role models, your icons, once you do that, you start studying them as a professional athlete. Let's say if you're competitive, and let's say you do running or swimming, so you start studying how your role models or your biggest competitors, how they behave, and you study their every move, every word, and you apply that to yourself. So that's interesting because many clients, and I had multiple interviews before, and they say, so how come you're looking for the role model for yourself, but you never look for the role model for your company? Because I know that my company will follow me. It's enough for me to see someone who truly inspires me. And I know that if I'm inspired, my company will be inspired. And if I am growing, my company will be growing. My company will be always matching the size of my heart. So you just keep going and growing your heart.
That's really transformational. And the thing you mentioned, like to have a role model, is like a game changer. But not only look up to someone, but actually follow their steps, study them, learn what they do, or maybe get closer to them, like pay for their products or coaching if they offer it, and they'll take you to that level.
In fact, Alina, you want your icons become your equals. That's what everyone wants for themselves. So you do whatever it takes to become their equals. And then once it's done, you go and you look for a bigger mountain, a bigger peak. And there's nothing bad about it.
Right. It's always nice to remember that everything is possible, right? You just change your mindset, study some techniques, tools, follow their steps. And yeah, like it's very important to believe that anything could be possible for you, because lots of people stuck in these patterns, like they are different. Like if I look up to my role model, I think they have some superpower, which like they're superhumans. It's not possible for me, but a coach is someone who shows you that it is also possible for you. That's very beautiful. Thank you very much, Misha, for sharing this information today, given sharing your personal path in a way. And it was a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Hope to see you soon and talk soon.
The same here. Thank you very much.